take us to sports news, and here's Olumide Macaulay. Olumide.
Thank you, Ijama. Welcome to Sports News. We start with football. Real Madrid will take a slim advantage to the Allianz Arena after a 1-0 win over Bayern Munich in the first leg of the UEFA Champions League. Karim Benzema scored the lone goal in the 90th minute when he coolly converted Fabio Contrao's low cross.
Mandzukic underneath it, and the effort was blocked by Pepe. Here's Ronaldo, and now Contrao has managed to get in behind Boateng. Here's a chance, here's a goal! Karim Benzema, how about that?
Nigerian international Christian Yagbara scored a brace as Sharks recorded an impressive 2-1 away win over Kaduna United. Federation Cup winners Ayimba dispatched Lobby Stars 3-0 as they needed a martial order strike to edge out Oriental neighbors Abia Warriors 2-1. The Golden Eaglettes once again confirmed their supremacy over their Malian counterparts with another 2-0 win at the WAFU Under-17 tournament in Togo. 2 goals in the second half by Orji Okonkwo and Kane Diainde cemented the world champions' top place finish in Group B with the maximum 6 points following an identical 2-0 win against their West African foes on Monday. Super Eagles' opening game against Iran at the 2014 FIFA World Cup will be played at the Curitiba Stadium if the pace of construction is accelerated. The assurance is coming from the General Secretary of FIFA, Jerome Valcke, who visited the arena during an inspection of facilities for the global tournament. And also in football, Chelsea have offered Nigeria defender Kenneth Omerua a new and improved 3-year deal. His current deal with the Blues will run out in June next year, and so the London club have moved fast to make him a new offer. Finally, okay, we'll just leave it there. And that's sports news. News at 10 continues with Ijama.
Now, as Nigeria continues to lead the United Nations Security Council meeting for the month of April, the president of the UN Security Meeting, Professor Joy Ogu, today mediated on the United Nations peace mission in Mali and efforts at ending the crisis in Ukraine. Delegates also debated the situation in the former Soviet Union territory.
The provisional agenda for this meeting is, quote, letter dated 28 February 2014 from the Permanent Representative of Ukraine to the United Nations, addressed to the President of the Security Council, /S 2014/136, end quote. The agenda is adopted.
The President of the United Nations Security Council, who is Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Professor Joy Ogu, declared the floor open with deep concern on the Ukrainian crisis and the lessons learned on the 1994 Rwandan genocide. The debate on the Ukrainian crisis flared up a heated argument as countries pointed accusing fingers to Russia, accusing her of a military aggression under the pretext of protecting the Russian minority community in Ukraine.
In this, unfortunately, a number of inconvenient facts are left aside, some which point to the fact that the activity of this government from the very start is based on an atmosphere of violence and which it itself has created. There is no attention paid to a very dangerous development, the growth of aggressive nationalism and neo-fascism.
Madam President, the OHCHR report is clear that human rights violations were a root cause of the popular protests which began in November last year. The report found that since the change of government in late February, allegations of human rights violations have decreased.
With the crossfires and subtle diplomatic maneuvers, which was well mediated by Nigeria's permanent representative and the President of the Security Council, Professor Joy Ogu, on the Rwandan genocide, Professor Joy Ogu seized the opportunity to highlight Nigeria's intervention in ending the crisis. With the key members of the Security Council still very much divided on ways to end the security crisis in Ukraine, from the United Nations headquarters in New York, Benga Ashiru, reporting for Channels Television News.
Now, still on the foreign scene, the Russian foreign minister has made it clear that Russia will respond if its interests in Ukraine are attacked. Now, here's Cynthia Are with more.
Well, that was certainly the case, and in one statement, the Russian Foreign Ministry repeated its call for Ukraine to withdraw military units from the country's east. Ukraine's government faces an armed revolt there by pro-Russia separatists. Kiev and the West say Moscow commands gunmen in eastern Ukraine, but that's an allegation that's been denied by Russia. Then rival Palestinian factions Fatah and Hamas have announced a reconciliation deal, saying they will seek to form a unity government in the coming weeks. Hamas and Fatah split violently in 2007, and previous reconciliation agreements have never been implemented. Also today, authorities in Australia are examining material washed ashore to determine if it's related to missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. The debris was found by a member of the public near the town of Augusta, some 300 kilometers south of Perth. Images of the debris have been sent to the Australian Transport Safety Bureau and are now being investigated. And the South Korean authorities have arrested 4 more crew members from the ferry that sank last week, bringing the total number detained to 11. Police have also raided offices of companies linked to the ferry's owners, and search teams are continuing to recover bodies from the submerged hull of the passenger ferry. Finally, a senior Egyptian police officer has been killed by a bomb blast in the capital, Cairo. Brigadier General Ahmed Zaki died when a device placed under his vehicle blew up in the western suburb of 6 October City. In Alexandria, a second officer was shot dead during a raid on what officials say was a militant hideout. And those are the top stories on the foreign scene.
Well, thanks a lot, Cynthia. And the main news again. The federal government today replied the governor of Adamawa State, Murtala Nyako, on the killings in the northeast and described his comments as inciting and irresponsible. And President Jonathan is to meet with 36 state governors tomorrow. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. Focus on Africa is up next. I'm Ijoma Onyato. You have a good night.